Book reviews part two. All right, y'all. I'm an upcoming author. Thank you for coming here to get caught up with me. So last video I talked about Murtagh. Now I'm here to talk about the next book I read, which was The Last Ronin by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, which is really cool because these are the actual original creators of the TMNT. With that being said, The Last Ronin is all about the last turtle. Here's the deal about The Last Ronin. With The Last Ronin, I can't really talk about it without spoiling what happens in the story. So with The Last Ronin, it came out in 2002, and the story basically follows the last of the surviving Hamado clan. The Hamados are obviously Splinter and the Turtles, right? In their ever ongoing battle with the Foot Clan, the Orokus, they have basically lost the war, and Master Splinter and three of the turtles are dead. Which turtle actually is still alive? I'm not going to tell you that because, personally, in my opinion, wasn't who I was expecting it to be. And that's actually part of the big reveal, which it does get revealed in the first issue. So if you read the graphic novel itself, the first few pages at the end of that first issue that's collected, it does tell you who is the last Ronin. Now, with that being said, that's kind of it. That's all I can really give you. So, of course, being the last turtle, he wants to make sure that he avenges his family and takes out the remaining leader of the Oroku clan, the Foot clan, to actually avenge his fallen brothers and his father. And it goes into the journey of how this turtle became an official master, how all the turtles and Splinter die. They're all glorious deaths. They go down swinging in the overall war. But I'm not telling you who's alive in terms of some of the other supporting cast in the past. I'm not going to tell you exactly what happens, obviously, in terms of going on his revenge quest. But I will say I enjoyed it a lot. The story is phenomenal. The artwork is great. One of the best things I loved about the artwork is that Peter actually chooses to use old school and modern art. And what do I mean by that? If you've seen any of the original TMNT books, the TMNT books, the original ones are actually in basically pretty much this grayscale and kind of free. I want to know how to describe the artwork itself. I'm not an actual artist, but it's not polished art per se. So when this turtle is actually doing flashbacks to what happened, it actually shows what happened in, for the most part, in that old grayscale coloring. So let me show you a perfect example of that. So here is a perfect example. So you have the old school artwork, that black, white, gray scale, and then you have the current like modern day polished artwork and everything like that. Not gonna get too close. There's no one spoil nothing for y'all. But that actually is really cool how it goes back and forth between the two of them. So this is really cool for mild turtle fans and also maximum turtle fans. For me, I'm a very mild turtle fan. I saw, I believe, the original 1990s movie. I also saw the Michael Bay movies, and those are Michael Bay movies. I watched the 1990s cartoon as well as the early 2000s cartoon. My kids actually watched the most recent cartoon that was like the 3D animated one on Nickelodeon, and I caught a few episodes of that, and actually was like really good. Probably on my to be watch list if I ever go back and watch certain things. But I'm a minor turtle fan. That's pretty much it. But it doesn't change the fact that this story has a lot for older fans, fans of the comics, fans of the TV shows, fans of the movies, and basically those who just wanted to get a good Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle story. So overall, the nice thing about this is it's set basically 30 years, I believe Eastman says, from that first issue. And then it's 16 years since all the turtles died. So that's basically the time frame. This is a canon story to the original Turtles #1. And that's because in 1984, Eastman writes a letter in the book. He talks about how they did that first issue and there were no real plans to do a second one. But obviously, the public wanted a second issue. And so when they started drafting that second issue, Peter and Kevin had to ask themselves, what comes next for the Turtles. And so there was a 30-year anniversary celebration in 2018, 2019, I believe. And during that time, when they got asked to come back and write an issue, they once again sat down and asked themselves, what comes next for the Turtles? So what's really cool about this is the TMNT is one of the first few in the 1980s, 1990s of those creator-owned comics that just blew up. And so you have a canon story from the original creator saying, hey, this is where the Turtles end. This is what we're looking at down the road. Like if we had kept on the book, this is how we are writing how the Turtles end, and then maybe continue. There's definitely set up for more. There's one thing that I love about comics is comics are always a sandbox. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is the comics are set up to where anyone can play in the box. Everybody has the opportunity to write their own stories about these characters they love, tell those good stories, and then when they leave, that's added to the overall mythos that the next writer, the next artist can then pick up and play with. And so The Last Ronin, while it ends for Michelangelo, Raphael, Donatello, and Leonardo, there technically is more that can be done later on if anyone else wants to play in the sandbox. And that's really cool. But that's all I can really say about The Last Ronin without giving too much away. So I would definitely say if you're a fan of graphic novels, if you're a fan of Turtles and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, go pick this one up. Take a read, enjoy it. Let me know if you've already read it in the comments. I would like to see what you're thinking. But what's next? Well, that's the exciting part. What's next is the Kyoshi novels, which I'm super excited to read. They've been sitting on my shelf for a while now, and they've been in this box. So I'm looking forward to reading The Rise of Kyoshi and The Shadow of Kyoshi. I actually know quite a bit about the Avatar universe outside of the TV shows because I follow Absolute Kyoshiism on TikTok, which is a hilarious channel. If you're a huge fan of Avatar Last Airbender, that is a channel you want to follow. You get a lot of the insider details from the books and the comics, and also they're just good laughs. I'll say this: Kyoshi is not the only menace that exists in the Avatar universe. But I'm super excited I get to read those books now. So those will be on my next book reviews. Other than that, though, let me know in the comments what other books maybe I should probably check out this year. I have a pretty good to be read list. If you look over my shoulder right over here, I have the Yang Chen books up there. It's a Star Wars book. I want to reread The Neverending Story. And then that big green one right there is The Count of Monte Cristo. So we'll see how I do with that one. But that is it. Thank you for joining my first two book reviews. I will have other book reviews, like other issues of comic books I'm reading, other books I'm gonna be reading throughout the year, just to kind of keep you all informed on what I'm reading. I enjoy sharing content, and then hopefully interacting with you all in the comments. So, but other than that, that is it. I am Upcoming Author. Thank y'all for getting caught up with me, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace. And real quick, completely forgot. Yes, I am a Black content creator, and yes, it is Black History Month. So of course, I'm gonna have Black History Month content for you in terms of comics and books and all that good stuff. So, that being said, got some videos I gotta record here in a little bit. Hopefully, I'll do that this weekend, and they'll be up next week. But yeah, that's it for tonight, y'all. Catch you later.